Welcome to this training. We're going to be talking about setting up your minimum viable ad campaign. I'm really excited about this one. We know a lot of people are interested in running ads. We find that running ads are an incredible way of growing your business. And we want to talk through what are the things that we need to do before we really start looking at investing tons and tons of money into ads. Right. So you can have hugely complex ad campaigns that require multiple softwares. And when Alex and I were looking at this, we were like, well, what's the fastest way that we can get ads up to test our messaging? And that's really what this type of ad campaign is about. It's how do we test our message to see if people are even interested? So what you're going to learn right now is not the end all be all of the most successful type of ad campaign. That's not what the purpose of this ad campaign is. It's not, hey, how are we going to make this ad campaign as scalable as possible and we can just keep dumping more money into it. Although if it ends up profitable, there's no reason not to. We just find that there's a beginner level and an advanced level. And this is what I think is perfect for starting out at a beginner level because it helps you be able to launch an ad campaign really in under an hour. You're going to see me set something up really, really fast. Two, it requires no software, like no landing pages. You don't need to pay for a landing page software like ClickFunnels or Kajabi or anything like that. It is all in-house. And it's all done through Facebook Messenger. And if you've been in our program, you're here, you know that starting conversations and messages with people is where sales happen, especially when we're dealing with high ticket. And so if you want to test out an ad, this is the best place. We're going to talk about how a couple of things here, keeping your budget relatively low, thinking like $10 to $15 a day. So if you're looking at something for 2 weeks, you're looking at spending 14 times 10 would be $140, looking at that kind of budget range. But this is for anyone to test, does this working? The end goal of this campaign is to say, hey, people are clicking on my ad and they are ending up in my messenger inbox of my page. That is our goal. And we're looking at what's the cost to get someone to click to start a conversation in Messenger with us. It's really important because we're not looking for, in this case, necessarily, hey, what's the end cost of getting someone to become a client? That could be the case if they end up talking with you and booking with you. This is to test, hey, how is my message working? Meaning, can I get people to end up in my inbox because they want the thing that I'm offering to them? And can I get that to them quickly? And if I can, then I'll look at moving to an advanced strategy of building out landing pages in a more traditional funnel of what we would call it. But this is the best place to start to test before you do all the work, right? The hours of making your landing pages, of creating videos and doing all these fancy things that can be really powerful long-term. But when we're starting out, it's just a lot of work for not knowing if our message is even going to hit. So this is how this is going to work. We are going to walk through here how to create a messenger ad. If you've never created an ad before, a messenger ad before, don't worry, it's not as complex as it may sound. You don't need any other software. It's all native within Facebook. We're going to put it out there and we are going to see if people click an ad, and when they do, it's going to open Messenger. We're going to have a default message to send them, and then we're going to start a conversation or send a deliverable. And I want to walk you through in just a second what this looks like, but I've used this for different things such as sending a training to someone that you've already done, getting people to apply for a program, getting people to try and join a group, and sending people a lead magnet. So I want to walk you through, sometimes for me, I think it's easiest to see, okay, what are we going to be looking at? And let me just show you an example that, let's say for those of you who have a Facebook group, let me show you a way that this has worked. This is not our end all be all Facebook group growth strategy, by the way. There's another video in here in the program that's going to talk about a further more in-depth group growing page strategy. But I just want to show you what we've been doing. So I'm going to go and look at, let me find one of my accounts here, go, which is now currently disabled. That's okay. We're going to go with, let's see. So Facebook group push. So I'll just show you what this looked like. Maybe I can't pull it up. Shoot. Okay. Let's go to a different one. It looks like these are, because this has been disabled. Okay, so that's been disabled. That's a bummer. Let's do this. Cool. Here's one I did for a client of mine. I'm assuming they won't, hopefully they won't mind. Oh no, here we go. Here's one. Cool. So this is a ad I ran for a company that I've started called Rip Grooms, which along with my friend Tim helps guys who are engaged get in shape before their weddings. And you can see I started 57 conversations at $2.46 a conversation for $140 total, and move people into our Facebook group. So this is a strategy I was using literally to get people to Facebook group, and I didn't have any landing pages. So I'll show you what this looks like and what we're going to build out together. So if I pull this up, actually it's not what I want. By the way, if you ever need to find an ad, you can always go to the ad itself and go over here to, you want to click edit on the ad and then go up here to preview, pull up on desktop newsfeed, and it'll pull up your ad in your newsfeed. You just have to scroll down. It won't be the first thing you see, but then you'll see it pop up here. So here's the ad copy, right? Super simple, nothing crazy. Engage guys, call out your audience, join the fastest growing community of guys wanting to look their best come wedding day. Our free group consists of free weekly workout samples, nutritional guidance, motivational mindset. We started on this journey after watching friends not feel at their best. Click learn more button and we'll send you an invite to join our community. Simple headline, free group for engaged guys wanting to look and feel their best. Here's what happens. So I'm sure you've seen tons of ad campaigns and ads on your Facebook or Instagram. They take you to a landing page. Well, not in this case. Here's what happens and how you can set this up for you. So I click it and it says, hey, Will, and we're going to set this all up here. It says, hey, Will, click get started and we'll shoot over the invitation to the group. So as soon as I click get started, I've pre-made an invite. It says, thanks, Will. Here's your invite to our free community. Boom, ripgrooms.com. If I click on it, I'll do it in a different tab. Sure enough, you are taken to here to get into the group. So I'm trying to collect their, this is an unnecessary step. So I once we started running this, I eventually changed this. So it just went to straight to here to the group. So 40 members. So you can see, by the way, I added maybe 2 people that weren't from an ad. So you can see out of the 50, what was it, 57, and I added 2 other people, Tim and one other person, that we have had 40 people join the group. So 38 members join our group. We spent $140 to get 38 people in, something like a little over $4 to get someone to join our group. In our group, we nurture them here and we put out content, right? We talk to them. And here's the best part. I can just start a conversation from my page now and say, hey, Will, you know, how far out is your wedding? Now I'm messaging them here in Messenger and I haven't used any landing page software. I haven't used anything like that. And I can start a conversation here and move them into potentially a sales convo. We're going to go into that in a different topic or different video. For now, we're just going to get the ad set up. So how do we get a minimum viable ad set up for you? The first thing is we need to go back. We need to look at what are we trying to deliver to people? And this is the first thing you should think about. Do I want to deliver to them a training? Do I want to potentially send them to an application? Do I want to try and get them to join my group? Do I want to send them a lead magnet? Or is there something else that you might be able to deliver? I would say these are the 4 things that we've really seen work time and time again. So I want you to think about, hey, am I going to make a training? Do I have an application? Do I join a group or lead magnet? Let me show you an application one real quick. Whoops. If I can get my Zoom shared and that little video thing to not be in my way all the time. Cool. So let's go to let me go to a different campaign here that I run for somebody else. And here is a application, one that we've been running. So we spent $538. We've started 93 conversations at $5.78. I talked to my client recently. They've gotten, I believe, 15 applications at $538. So that's something like math. I don't know, $30 or $40 an application. But let's just I'll show you here what this looks like. So if we go and to an application, we call this a 5 people post. Hey, I'm looking for 5 people who want to achieve blank thing. So if I scroll down, hey, here it is. We're looking for 5 PTs who want to start and grow their own mobile practice. Is that you? We're blank people, right? Who quit their corporate jobs. One of us is in Texas, one in Arizona, one in Colorado. Here's the reality most staff PTs face, never ending blah, right? Just talking about pain points. We got tired of it and I'm talking desires. That's why I created this group. Imagine being able to go to your clients' homes and working for them 60+ minutes and not having to stress out about documentation. Getting paid for value for your service is not the number of minutes you're there. Building a business that stands for your values. Cool. So I just want to show you one more example, looking for 5 PTs, and here's how this one works. So I click learn more. You'll notice the same process. Hey, Will, thanks for your interest in the Uncaged Clinician program. Just click send the application button below to start the process. So send application. It says, great, here's the link to the application. So I click on it. Sure enough, they're sent right to an application. Now, I don't really recommend just straight here, right? There's no video, there's no nothing here. This has been working surprisingly quite well, but it's not what I would recommend. I'd recommend having like taking them to a page with a video or something that you've done. If you don't have a lead magnet, I go through in, let's see here, how to create a lead magnet. So I go through here, I believe somewhere, yeah, in week 4 of the program, the very last video, email setup plus fill your list with lead magnets, how to go and create a lead magnet of your own. So I walk you through how to set that up, how to create a lead magnet. So if that's something you need to send to people, you can do that. I also teach you how to create your funnel page to send people to. So keep that in mind if you need help with that part. Go down here to, if you need help creating a lead magnet, to go down here and see how to check it out. Cool. So let's go through this. Let's go ahead and set up your minimum viable ad campaign. What are the requirements that we need? We need a Facebook Business Manager account. We need a Facebook ad account. We need a Facebook page to be able to run this under. We need an image and we need some ad copy. So if you do not have your Business Manager ad account or Facebook page, you're not sure if you set it up right, you can go to onlinebusinessforhealthcare.com. This will eventually change to a different URL, but onlinebusinessforhealthcare.com/fb-ads-overview. And I have tutorials on how to set up your page, how to set up your Business Manager and ad account, how to do your pixel. You may benefit you to watch the Ads Manager overview, just understanding the platform, but we're going to go through and set this up. So here's what we're going to do. Let's go ahead. So first off, make sure that if you don't have this, pause this video here. Make sure you go to onlinebusinessforhealthcare.com/fb-ads-overview and set your page up, set your Business Manager and ad account up, and create your own pixel. Super simple how to do this. You can see it's 5 minutes long, 12 minutes long, 5 minutes long. Should take you no more than half an hour to get all this stuff set up to do. Cool. Once you have that, we're going to go into the Ads Manager. So you're going to log into facebook.com/ads manager. And what we're going to do is we're going to assume that we have a lead magnet. So I just made a sales playbook. See if I can find it somewhere. You know what? Actually, let's just do this. We're going to join a group. Let's just try to join our group. So I'm going to create an ad to try and get people to join our group. So if you remember, well, all we need is an image and ad copy. And I'm going to show you how you can find an ad image without even having to make one. If you want to make one, you can go to Canva and make some cool graphics. If you want to test out a cool ad, I just use things pretty simple, either a picture of us or a picture that already exists. But let's go and cool. So we're going to find your ad account. Make sure that you're in your own ad account. And what we're going to do is we're going to go to campaigns and we're going to create a new campaign. So you have campaigns, which is what we're going to tell Facebook what we're aiming for. Ad set is where we're going to choose who we want our ad to show up in front of. And ads tab is going to be what the ad looks like. But here's what we're going to do. We're going to click plus, create campaign. And you have these different objectives. And for this, all we're going to do is choose, hey, we want messages. We want people to click on our ad and open up a message in our page. You can name it. So I'm going to name this sample ad campaign to join FB group. I don't need to name ad set or ad. Cool. So I'm going to come down here. I don't need to, we're not going to do anything with special ad categories unless you're like doing recruiting or housing or credit or employment, you can see, or election, political stuff. We're not doing any of that. We're not going to do any A/B test here at this level. We're not going to do anything like that. I am going to set my campaign budget optimization here. So I turn this on. I'm just going to set this for $10 a day. I recommend no less than $10 a day, as Facebook requires. Facebook gets better the more and more data you give it. So I highly recommend keeping it to at least $10 a day, and just keep an eye on it. You can also do lifetime. We haven't really found a huge difference. We've just found a little bit better results doing daily budget versus lifetime. And that's just in our experience. So we keep it daily. We check it every day. So that way I know what's going on. So I'm not worried about it overspending. Cool, I'm gonna hit next. Now it's gonna take us to the ad set level, which is where we're gonna decide, hey, what do we want people to, who do we want this ad to show up in front of? And so I'm not going to name this for, you can name this for internal purposes if you know who you're going to target, but I'm just going to leave it blank. Destination, yep, I want them to click message. You can see there are other options. I want them to click message. I want them to send it in Messenger. Choose the accounts where you want to receive. Yep, I'm going to run it under Alex and Will. This is where you're going to want to choose your Facebook page. So you're going to find your page. Start date, I want it to start immediately, so I just leave it there. If you want to choose a date you want to start, you can go ahead and set, a day and time. And if you want, you can set an end date. If you're like nervous, you're not going to keep an eye on it, you can go ahead and set an end date, choose a date and time. I just leave it running. Cool. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to do broad. So there's ways that you could target just your own Instagram followers. In this case, we're going to open it up because we're looking for find new people to join our group. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my locations. I'm going to keep it just in the US. Since we're trying to get people to join our group that are coaches and consultants, I'm looking at people who probably are a little bit older in the game. So I'm going to go probably 30 to, I'll just say 60. Both men and women would be great. And, but you could choose, if you want to choose men or women, you can do that. And this is where I'm going to look at detailed targeting. So since I'm doing US, a huge area, not a small local base. If you're doing a small local base, then I don't recommend adding any targeting. If you're in a town under 250,000, just let Facebook go find all the people. But here's the deal. I'm going to be looking at things where I know that business coaches follow, right? So who would business coaches follow? So somebody like Tony Robbins. Sometimes you'll notice Facebook can be a little slow, but there, Tony Robbins. And you'll notice there are 3.1 million people interested in Tony Robbins that are between 30 and 60, both men and women, just in the US. And what I like to do is I like to keep my audience size somewhere at least like 250,000 to up to a couple million. But the lower my budget, the smaller I want my audience to be, because Facebook needs more money. Money is access to data. And so Facebook needs more money to be able to reach more of these people and find the right people. So Tony Robbins might be too broad. So maybe I'll do like Mel Robbins is another. Nope, Mel Robbins doesn't pop up. So let's go with business coach, business coaching interest, 600,000. 16,000. Okay, so not enough people, right? I want this to be close to like 250,000, but I'm going to go to suggestions. Wellness coach, personal development, 26 million. Okay, way too big, so I'm going to delete that. Coaching, personal coach, health coaching. So maybe health coaching, let's see. 1.3 million. Okay, that's better in the range that I'm looking for. You can see, so Facebook will give you all kinds of other suggestions that you can do. But again, I'm not trying to get everything perfect this time. I'm trying to get my minimum viable ad campaign up. So we'll look at this and say, cool, I'm within 250,000 to 2 million people. That's good. I'm in a good range, right? It's not gonna be perfect. I'm not aiming for this, again, I'm gonna spend $10 a day for 2 weeks. And I'm just looking to see, do people click on this and interact with my ad and open up Messenger conversations. Now I find out what's the quality of those before I try to scale anything and build out an actual full funnel. So I don't recommend using automatic placements. I'm going to go to manual placements. So real quick, just so we know, we're targeting anyone in the US who's 30 to 60, both men and women, who have an interest in business coaching and health coaching. So that's who we're targeting. You can see it's 1.3 million people over here. I'm gonna go to manual placements. I turn everything off. I don't do stories. I don't do search. I just do the main feeds. So I get rid of Facebook Marketplace, Instagram Sort. Now my ad is only showing up in Facebook news feeds and Instagram feeds. That's it. Just these two. Only two places. Cool. I'm not gonna do anything with cost control, and I'm gonna click next. And this is where we're gonna create the ad. So I am going to, if you notice, nothing's here. So what I'll do is, hey, you can choose an Instagram account. If you want to connect your Instagram account, you can. In this case, I'm just going to leave it. Facebook will create a dummy Alex and Will Healthy Funnel account for the ad, and Instagram. So it's totally fine. And it will show up. Although I recommend if you do connect it, because if people like you, they can follow you and then get more followers, which is a great thing. I'm going to test out with just a single image or video. And so I'm going to scroll down. It's going to say, hey, select the media text or destination for your ad. So I need to come up with a picture. So I'm going to either add an image or video. I recommend image. Again, we're going minimum viable, not looking at making crazy ad campaign yet. I'm not trying to go as crazy as possible. So you'll notice I can choose account images, Instagram page, or stock photos, or I can upload my own picture. So I'll just show you too. Facebook has a really cool thing of stock photos. So I could do like coach. I'm kind of just looking for like, where is there an image that just like jumps out to me that would just stop me in my tracks if I was scrolling. So like, I'm just going and like, this kind of catches my attention for whatever reason. I'm not really sure. I'm just looking at like, okay, maybe this guy, let's see. Coaching, cool. And by the way, these Shutterstock watermarks go away when you run that. So I might do this, just coaching. And I can look at the placements and say, what does that look like? But I can preview it now over here. This is what it's going to look like in a Facebook feed. This is what it's going to look like in an Instagram feed. And here's what I might say, like online. So this is my online text is the main copy. So I'm going to, number one rule is always call out your audience. So I'm going to say online coaches and consultants. And then one way that I would do this is I always like to, when in doubt, start with something that gets their attention. Sick and tired of is a great thing to start with. So sick and tired of, let's see, sick and tired of working so hard to get new prospects on sales calls only to watch them slip through your fingers, right? So call out my audience. Hey, online coaches and consultants. So somebody who sees this right away goes, hey, this is for me, right? Are you sick and tired of working so hard to get new prospects on sales calls to only watch them slip through your fingers? We've spent the last 2 years, so authority, helping coaches and consultants master the art of the sales call. We've helped take our clients from literally closing at 2% all the way to 75% with a few simple hacks. We've built, want to join a community of like-minded coaches who are now mastering closing sales calls. This is a free group telling them benefits and features now. Sales, how to book more sales calls through social media content, how to open sales calls, authority that you are in your space, seamlessly overcome any objection is click the learn more button below, and we'll send you an invite to join our community. Cool. So just something simple. I'm just testing out, right? Again, this is minimum viable, not hey, what's the most perfect ad I can get? So I'm looking at, hey, will this will this language connect with these business coaching and health coaching interests that I'm targeting people? So this is my primary text. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a headline. So coaches sales calls too often, trying to get their attention. I don't put anything in the description. I just kind of leave it blank. It's up to you if you want to. Now here's where we're going to make our own little version of a landing page. So okay, cool. So here's where we're going to make our version of the landing page. So we're going to do start conversation and we're going to do create. So I'm going to click create. And what you're going to see here is it's going to populate the person's name because it's knowing that they're coming from Facebook. So it's going to say, hi, Will. And so what we're going to say is, click the, so how this works is we're going to have one prompt for them. So right now you can see in this preview, there's 3 prompts. We're going to get rid of prompt 2 and prompt 1. We just want them to click on one thing because if there's multiple options, people get confused. And we're going to name question 1, send invitation. So I'm going to say, and this could be, by the way, send training. This could be send application. This could be send ebook, whatever it is. But I'm going to tell them in this first text what they need to do. Click the send invitation button below. And I'll send, since this is Alex and I, we'll send your invitation. Cool. Invitation. So you can see here, I will click the send invitation button below and we'll send over your invitation. So I'm going to keep it here. Now I'm going to, so they're going to click send invitation. I'm going to come up with an automated response. So my automated response is going to go great. And I can add emojis. I'm going to add personalization. Great. First name. Here is your invitation to join our community for coaches who are mastering closing sales calls. I'll let it populate. Cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Facebook. I'm going to find our Facebook group link. So I'm going to go to clients at scale. I'm going to snag this link and then I'm going to put it in my ad. Cool. And I'm going to title this join MVAC, join clients at scale, minimum viable ad campaign. And I've got it set up. So what we can do is preview this. So what I can do is go in preview. It says message been sent, open your messenger on your phone. So I got to do it on my phone. So let me show you real quick. Let's see if I can pull this up. So you can see it bigger here. See, I got it right up here. Hey, Will and Alex, from Will and Alex, click send invite. So it says, you can see, I will click send invitation. We'll send over your invitation. So I'm going to click it. Boom, there you go. Great, Will. Here's your invitation to join our community for coaches, and I know it's backwards, who are mastering sales calls, closing more sales calls. There's a link to the group. So I can click it. So I click the link, and sure enough, it takes me right to the group to join, if I'm already obviously a member, but to join. Cool. And that's how we create a very minimal viable ad campaign. And now what we're going to do is I'm going to click save and finish. And I'm going to click publish. Okay, something's obviously going on with my ad account, but in theory, this will publish and be sent out. So I'm not really sure what's going on here with this ad campaign, or this ad account. But I now will have this out to the world. So I could go and look on my phone. I'll get a preview. Okay, not getting the preview yet. Hopefully soon. But anyways, that is how we get a minimum viable ad campaign up. And then what I'm doing is I'm looking at, hey, what are my costs to get conversations, right? So you can see I did a similar one to join a group for the same group of guys. We spent $96, got 9 people to start a conversation, to click to want to join the group. And I got about 5 of them in the group for $96. So it was about a little under $20 a person to join the group. I'm looking for somewhere between $10 to $20 to get someone to join a group. I'm looking for, ideally we're looking for, as you can see, per conversation. So Rip Grooms, trying to keep things under $10 per messenger conversation. That's usually what I'm looking at. You can see though, we've had some in the past, by the way, that have flopped, and this is okay. So I'll just show you real quick. Like we had okay, anyways. Okay, so you can see we tried a online quadrants one. It was costing us $35 to start a conversation, which told us, hey, our messaging wasn't that great. So we let this run for probably longer than we should, but we were just testing, right? So $49, I tried to do a sales playbook, $49 a conversation, not really a great deal. So I stopped it, right? I'm looking for, can I keep this? By the way, as you're running an ad, you want to give it at least 4 days. Facebook has a 4-day learning period. So I don't make any decisions after the first 4 days. I'm always going to spend at least $40 to find out if this will work or not. So keep that in mind. But get started where you're at in the journey. You shouldn't even be advertising if you don't have at least $10 a day to spend, and potentially even not get anything back, right? Because this is a learning process and we're looking to crack the code to find a couple ads that work really, really well. And you can actually just get started with your minimum viable ad campaign. And then on the back end, they're in your messenger and you can message them from your page and you can start having conversations with them and talk with them. So keep that in mind. And this has been your training on your minimum viable ad campaign. And now you have a messenger ad going out. Somebody can click on, will open Messenger, and you can start a conversation and or send them your deliverables, training, join group, or lead magnet. If you have any questions, drop them below on this video, and I'll make sure to add them and continually improve this training. Cool. Go launch your minimum viable ad campaign.